My billionaire crush suddenly vanished for a week. Bored out of my mind, I posted an Instagram story. Just hired a tan jock, unreal body, Venmo me $5 for a peek at his abs. I had no idea Caspian Montgomery, my crush, would actually see it, or that he'd spam me with a storm of messages, accidentally showing off my abs. Live photo, sent by mistake, can't unsend, the guy from your story, $50,000 sent to at Rosalind Sinclair. Can I see him? If that's what you like, I can be that for you. Rosie, are you ignoring me? Because you're with him. It's okay, I can wait until you're done. Can I come see you right now? You can inspect the merchandise first. A few hours later, reading Caspian's messages for the first time, my brain short-circuited. I'd been crushing on Caspian Montgomery for 3 months. This was the first time he'd ever sent me more than a single sentence. It was flattering, to say the least, but what did he think I liked? What could he be for me? And what merchandise was I supposed to be inspecting? Was this the same cold, quiet Caspian I knew? I stared at my phone in disbelief, rereading the messages. Finally, I dimmed the screen brightness, made sure my privacy screen was angled just right, and secretly tapped on the live photo he'd sent. I played it again and again. Oh my god, he was a literal god, and that was a very large bargain. Asterisk gulp. Asterisk the fact that he couldn't take it back was the greatest feature ever invented. The sheer beauty of it all finally jogged my memory. This was because he saw my post about the tan jock, but I was just playing along with that viral Thirsty Thursday meme and he thought it was real. Wait, didn't he say he never looks at social media? Just a while ago, I was obsessed with these gourmet Korean corn dogs. When I mentioned them to Caspian, he casually asked for the name of the place, hoping for something more. I told him, oh, it's on my latest IG story. This place is absolutely divine. You have to try it. Caspian replied instantly, sorry, I don't really use Instagram. I froze, my hand tightened around my phone, knuckles turning white, the silence stretched, becoming awkward. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Then Caspian gave me a long, steady look. Rosalind, he said, his voice a low, deep rumble. I meant we could just go there directly. My treat, to return the favor. You navigate. His voice was a gentle query, but it felt like he'd hooked my very soul. I stared at him, dazed, and nodded just when I thought that dinner meant we were finally making progress. He didn't reply to any of my messages for a whole week. It was like he'd fallen off the face of the earth. A video call request from Caspian popped up on my screen. He must have noticed I wasn't responding, which was completely out of character for my usual instant reply self. The ringtone blared, and I instinctively hit decline. I couldn't exactly tell him that I was so pissed about him ghosting me that I'd muted his notifications, only just now seeing them, or that the reason I hadn't replied was because I was stuffing my face with my brother at Taco Bell. But Caspian was actually reaching out to me, and he'd sent benefits. I quickly typed out a lie to cover my tracks. Aw, sorry, I'm in a meeting at the hospital, can't take a call, just saw your messages. OMG, I'm so sorry, my story was a joke. Please don't take it seriously. QAQ, how about I buy you dinner tonight? Hee, my treat. To thank you for the corn dogs last time. As I was typing furiously, my brother, Finn, suddenly leaned in, peeking over my shoulder before I could stop him. After a moment of silent reading, he burst out laughing. Oh, look at that, another victim of the Thirsty Thursday meme. Who is this guy? So rich he'll Venmo you 50 grand to see a tan jock. Dude must be from out of town. This is textbook scam bait. Rosie, you could get sued. His rambling stopped abruptly as his eyes landed on the contact name at the top of my screen. Future husband who's cold but hot AF. The silence was deafening. I moved with lightning speed. Before Finn could react, I smacked him hard on the back of his head. Finn Sinclair. I hissed, yes, Finn Sinclair, my dear brother, and the very first victim of my Thirsty Thursday scam. I'd seen the meme on TikTok that morning and couldn't stop laughing, so I copied and pasted just hired a tan jock, unreal body, Venmo me $5 for a peek at his abs to my IG story. My brother was the first to send me $5. I have to see what kind of Adonis could make my cheapskate sister actually spend money. I need to witness this miracle. And that's how I ended up treating him to Taco Bell. Finn yelped, in pain, stumbling back a few steps. Rosalind, that contact name is so shameless. He chuckled, rubbing his head. I was fuming. I grabbed for him, ready to land another blow. Finn smoothly dodged. He wrapped an arm around my shoulders from behind, pinning me playfully to stop me from hitting him again. He grinned, his voice a mocking purr. Sis, is this really how you plan to win a man? Being this aggressive in public? I rolled my eyes and jabbed him with my elbow. Should I learn from you, the guy who gets 100 DMs a day from other guys? Finn, get your paws off me. Suddenly, a chill crawled up my spine. I instinctively looked up, my gaze drifting towards the glass door of the restaurant, and I froze. Caspian Montgomery was standing right there, his handsome face a mask of cold fury, his lips pressed into a thin, hard line. His gaze was like a laser, locked onto me and Finn. The moment our eyes met, time seemed to stop. How was Caspian here? And how long had he been watching? Oh crap, I just lied about being in a meeting at the hospital, and my crush had caught me red-handed. In the split second my brain was rebooting. Caspian had already pushed through the door and was striding towards us. Rosalind, he said, his voice dangerously low, just finished your meeting. I didn't even have time to think. The words just came out. Yes, just finished, grabbing a quick lunch. The moment I said it, I remembered Caspian knew where I worked. And right now, I was at a Taco Bell right next to my apartment. My eyelids started twitching uncontrollably. I was so screwed. Caspian paused, his icy gaze sweeping over Finn before landing back on me. And this is a colleague of yours. My heart hammered against my ribs. I felt a wave of guilt and jabbed Finn again with my elbow. I was about to introduce him. But Finn, the little devil, didn't let go. Instead, he leaned in and whispered in my ear, trust me, I know guys, I'll help you out. You can thank me later. Finn's hand slid down from my shoulder, and he linked his arm with mine in a cloyingly intimate way. Rosie, who is this? Finn asked, his voice sickeningly sweet and high-pitched. He didn't forget to shoot a defiant glare at Caspian. I wanted to vomit. Seriously, I was so disgusted. Caspian's expression froze, his gaze slowly drifted down, settling on the hand Finn had wrapped around my arm. Sir, Caspian said, his voice laced with ice, this is a public place, please have some self-respect. I felt like I was on trial. What was this? Some kind of soap opera cheating scene? It was lunchtime, the Taco Bell was packed, and people were starting to stare, especially after Caspian's comment. I forced a stiff smile, secretly reaching behind me to pinch Finn's back hard. I hissed through my teeth, let go now, be normal, you little twit. Finn's face contorted in pain for a split second. He let out a soft TSK and reluctantly released released my arm, I quickly tried to defuse the situation. I awkwardly introduced them to each other. My voice strained. Caspian, I said, gesturing to Finn but deliberately leaving out his last name. This is Finn. Well, look at the time. I have to get back to the hospital. Maybe we can just call it a day. I was actually on a day off after a long night shift, but with this little demon Finn around, I didn't dare let him speak another word. He wasn't helping. He was making things 1,000 times worse, but Finn acted like he hadn't heard me at all. He leaned in again, his voice dripping with fake affection. Rosie, your friend is so mean. A flicker of something dark and dangerous crossed Caspian's eyes. It was gone in an instant. I caught it, though, a split-second glimpse. Caspian slowly lowered his gaze, and when he looked up again, his expression was back to its usual calm. He paused, ignoring Finn completely, and turned to me. Rosie, he asked, his voice low and raspy with a faint, almost imperceptible tremor. Weren't you going to take me to dinner? He spoke quickly, as if afraid I would interrupt, as if terrified of what I might say. If you're busy with him, I can go home and wait for your message. For some reason, I heard a note of pathetic pleading in his voice. Caspian was acting so strange today. This was the first time he'd ever called me Rosie. It was so different from the cold, unapproachable man I was used to, but I had to admit, I kind of liked it. It made me want to win him over even more. Rosie, I think I smell a green tea bitch in here. Finn whispered. I shot him a death glare. Seeing Finn getting way too into his role, I spoke with cold finality. Finn has somewhere to be. He's leaving right now. Whatever you say, Rosie. I'll do whatever you want. Finn shot one last provocative look at Caspian. He leaned in close, covering his mouth as he whispered in my ear. Competition creates a sense of crisis. Brilliant assist, right? Remember to treat your dear brother when you succeed. With that, Finn grabbed his two-person Taco Bell feast and made his grand exit. Before leaving, he couldn't resist one last dig at Caspian. I'll be waiting for you, Rosie. Call me anytime. At your service. His fake, high-pitched voice made my skin crawl. Once Finn was gone, I finally breathed a sigh of relief and pulled Caspian outside. Caspian's eyes were glued to me, and he seemed to be struggling to say something. Finally, as if he'd made up his mind, he spoke, his lips moved, and he asked, his voice barely a whisper, Rosie, is he the tan jock from your story? It took me a second to realize he was talking about Finn. I was speechless. Finn had just